55 KRC, the talk station. Happy Friday to you, and welcome back to the program, Dan Ragnall. Dan, good to have you on, as always.
Good morning, Brian. I'm reporting in, I think, like one of your other guests from CPAC.
Oh, you're there as well.
Yeah, and that quote that was just on Fox Radio a couple minutes ago, it's from my roommate, George Brenneman, when we were downstairs yesterday. He was interviewed by Fox, so he's here too, and it's been a great convention, and what I want to assure everyone out there is that the Tea Party is alive and well at CPAC.
Glad to hear that, and it's a good place to be from what I heard from Ed Bell, man. I mean, every subject under the sun is being discussed, and I suppose it's a great place for you to get information in order to bring people or speakers or topics to empower you.
Yeah, we've, Empower You, it's been just a great learning exercise for so many people over the last year. And the thing I think that has taught me the most and just kind of resonated with me is I've heard, just consistently over the last year, I think we've done about 40 sessions. We've heard from county, state, city leaders, and all of them have really said the same thing. And that is, we can't spend any more than our budget, so why should the federal government be able to?
I get that all day long, Dan. That is not a Republican or Democrat reality. It is a simple financial, fiscal fact of life. If you spend more than you take in, you will end up bankrupt, period of end of story. And we seem perilously close on a federal level.
So we kind of came up with this crazy idea, and it all started with, I believe, a good Democrat, the CEO of Starbucks, Howard Schultz. He had a webinar in October, and he came out and he said one thing simply: Washington, D.C. is so screwed up that nobody should send them any money until they fix things.
I like that idea.
And I heard that.
How do we avoid arrest, though, Dan?
I heard that on the news, and I said, my goodness, is this what we need to do to try to get some sanity here? And so kind of an idea started to formulate, and Jim DeMint was here talking yesterday, and he said, it's obvious we can't get anything done in Congress, and if things are going to get done, they're going to have to start from the bottom up. So we kind of, in talking, decided, well, let's try to force Congress. Let's see if the people can really do something. You keep hearing the people want to take back their country, right. They're ready to do it, but are they really willing to actually do something? So we came up with a balanced budget amendment that is extremely simple, that we're going to try to force Congress to pass. And what it really says is just four things. It says that we're going to balance the budget in 7 years. Now, to do that in the first year would require about a 4% cut in spending. And it says the deficit will be reduced 1/7 each year. So in 7 years, the budget's balanced, the deficit is down to zero. After the budget is balanced, Congress can't spend more than the average of the last 3 years' receipts. And the fourth thing, if there is an emergency, if there's a Katrina, a 9/11, or whatever, Congress can override the balanced budget provision by a 2/3 vote. Just a simple thing, right?
Yeah. Well, it is simple conceptually, and overriding it with 2/3, that means you're going to have a really good gosh darn reason in order to do it. I like the idea, and you know me, we demand a balancedbudget.com. I wrote my check, and I'm on board. I agree with you, and I think it's the right thing to do. What can my listeners do to help spread the word and get this thing moving?
Well, what we're asking listeners to do is take a two-sentence pledge that doesn't take longer than a minute to do. The website is WeDemandABalancedBudget.com. Just turned it on this morning. The people in Cincinnati have the opportunity to be the first people in the country to speak to their legislators. And here's what the pledge says. It's really simple. It says, I'm not going to send any money to any Senate, congressional, or presidential candidate until that candidate has agreed to pass the People's Balanced Budget, which is what I just told you about. In part two, I'm not going to vote for any of these people until they agree to pass the People's Balanced Budget.
I got no problem with that, Dan. Of course, I'm on board. I put my money where my mouth is. So
good to see your name on there.
I'm pleased to have it there.
And people know that we need to do this, and so I'm just urging you to get on your computer, go to WeDemandABalancedBudget.com, take the pledge. It'll make you feel good, and let's see what we the people can do. And on Monday night, February 13th, just a couple days from now, at the farm at 7 o'clock, we're going to have a big kind of intervention with the government. We're going to talk about how big of a mess we're in, and we're going to talk about how this whole balanced budget amendment can be done and how we can get it done. So I hope a lot of people will go on our on the website, empoweruohio.org, and reserve to come Monday night. I think it'll be really fun. Steve Shabbat's going to be there.